Welcome guys, we're here tonight at the Versus Gameplay Arcade for our first ever show match for the Black Ops 3 on PlayStation 4. I'm co-casting alongside JV here. How's it, man?
It's been good. It's been good. I spent the weekend in Houston at Battlegrounds, which is a wonderful event put on by the Smash United team. Big shout out to that team for having me out. But after a weekend of casting Smash, definitely looking forward to getting my eyes on this game. This is one of the first big casts of Black Ops 3 since the game's release, so I'm definitely excited, and I feel very privileged to be able to be on the mic with you today, Shadow.
Yeah, I'm very privileged as well. You know, we're having Team War versus Worst Case Scenario. I know I saw you casting at Smash United. That was awesome, you know, to see some players come out. I know that I think Dinty placed third, second was Karna, and then first was The Wall, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, The Wall surprised everybody. For sure. Definitely an incredible player, but no one expected him to get first place, especially seeing as both Karna, who had actually 3-0'd him, if I remember correctly, at Absolute Battle, which was an event that y'all put on, was in attendance, along with Trilla as well, who has been making so many waves on a national scale. It's really funny to me that I feel like Trilla performed worse at this, I guess, regional event than he usually does at nationals, but, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Sometimes you get those nerves, even when it's home field advantage.
That is true. That is true. You know, everybody has some nerves. So tonight, like I said, we do have Team War versus Worst Case Scenario. The first game will be Hardpoint on Fringe, as the game is going to be starting in about 5 seconds as we load up. Now, I have personally not played on this map. You know, I've dabbled a few minutes. Tonight, we're actually going to feature the Ban and Protect voting system. Not too sure what's going on here. Yeah,
Ban and Protect is really interesting. It reminds me to some extent of the drafting phase of a lot of MOBAs, right? And in that, basically, you get to choose, essentially pick a hero, and then you ban a hero that the other team can't use. But the ban protect system is a little bit different here, in the sense that both players are ready to ban or protect something at the same time, and they can ban either a perk, a weapon, a kill streak, whatever they really want to do during this time, and they have basically the freedom to choose: do I want to ban? Do I want to protect? Right? If they ban something, it basically prevents the other team from getting it, whereas if they protect something, it prevents the other team from banning it. Yeah. So it's a really interesting feature. I think because these two teams haven't played against each other before, we're not going to be seeing too much in-depth banning protecting. It's probably going to be more so along personal matters more than anything else. What I'm really interested in is Game 2. Whenever you have that knowledge, whenever you have that download on your enemy team, and you're able to figure out exactly what they're very proficient at and what they're weak to. And that's when I think that the ban and protect is going to be really interesting. Right now, both teams going in a little bit blind. Looks like we're going to be having the Vision Pulse band, as well as the Shiva and the Pharaoh, with the MBA and the VMP ready to go.
I do feel like this is actually very coincidental, because I watched the the esports link I sent you earlier, and Pharaoh was a big gun being used by EU player Jared. I used it after I saw him use it, and it was completely, I was dominating everybody. You do see 6 Sense come in being banned as well as War Machine coming in from Captain DNA. Now, I do see a little bit in the layout aspect. It doesn't seem like the layout is correctly fine. You know, the game just now released. I know they're going to fix a lot of features in the COD casting. You know, I believe that the layout is working correctly, but it's not being featured on the 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we do have that listed in feature as well, which is interesting. Which is definitely interesting.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to showcase just how much, I guess, this CODcast feature really does pack. And yeah, they're going right into the picks of the Specialists. And Specialists, I think, is like a really interesting addition. It reminds me a bit of Destiny, to be honest, right? And you'll actually see it right off the top, Seraph, something that we have to talk about immediately. Seraph is one of those classes which I think can be absolutely devastating if you have a really good marksman on your team. That Annihilator weapon with is essentially this one-shot pistol. It's the golden gun. And if you have that teamed up with a really good shooter, it can be an absolute devastation, because unlike in Destiny where you only have a couple of shots, you actually have a time limit. And as long as you can stay alive, you can utilize that weapon the entire time. So expect that to be a really big momentum shift, especially, I'd say, towards the mid-game. We also have the Purifier, which I know you want to touch on a little bit.
Yeah, so the Purifier is a very big item being used in Hardpoint, as it is like a flamethrower weapon that can just clear out a hardpoint, you immediately die. by. Another big feature, I'm not necessarily too sure how it will be used in this game mode, is Overdrive. Overdrive, a really big perk being used, or a really big specialist item being used in Uplink itself, because you do get the running feature where you do sprint across the map. Gravity spikes I do see happening could be really good in clearing out hard points.
Yes, because it's one of those options where you leap into the air temporarily and you essentially slam onto the ground with this, and you send out this shockwave that has this AoE sort of effect. And you're right, I think for a mode like Hardpoint, it's really good. And look at Abrupt. You touched on the fact that he has Overdrive, so maybe in the early game or whenever a Hardpoint is switching, you could expect him to be one of the first people right there ready to go ahead and start capping some points for his team. As we're looking around, we also see Reaper with the Scythe, and actually that's by both TBE as well as Glitter. So what do you think is really going on in their minds when they're choosing that?
I'm not too sure. I don't know that much about the Scythe program off the top of my head. You may know a little bit more about it than what I do. I haven't, like I said, I've touched on the game a little bit since it's released on Friday. I haven't really had an in-depth look into all the items itself, so I'm not too sure what the Scythe feature does. But considering that it's on both teams, I would have to see a big feature. But we do see down at the bottom Crone picking Psychosis. I believe Psychosis is the one that you can rotate back in time.
It sends out. No, Psychosis is the one that sends out the clones, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And that could be really good for distracting teams that are trying to secure a hard point. You send out these clones, all of a sudden you have them exposing themselves by shooting preemptively, and then you can maybe set up for some kind of a flanking maneuver as soon as their vision is completely focused on those clones. As for the Scythe, it's like a minigun of sorts, right? And it's like a really nice power weapon, especially whenever you have to clear waves of enemies. And given that the type is going to be hardpoint, where you have like this King of the Hill type of feature, I can see it having a lot of prowess, especially in this game type. But we're about to be going underway. War versus worst case scenario. Let's get into this. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited as well. Well, now I will say we are using Arena Pro online rules. Now the only issues behind that is we're not using no UAV, no counter UAV, no care package, and there's 2 specialist perks that I believe are Reject and Hive that got banned. That was just based upon the team's preferences. I said that I wouldn't want to play with UAV, counter UAV, and care package as well due to that fact. But let's get into the game as we hop on board here. Glitter 0718 WCS. Kind of a little bit jumpy there. Does have the sniper itself. Does spot one cross map. Puts a shot out but does not get the kill on him. Let's switch back over on TBE Thug. He does have an MA-A7 quick draw.
And now we can already see why he wanted to protect that. He started off really strong, but unfortunately gets capped pretty quickly, switching things up over to TBE, who had just picked up that kill. Nova is on board with that M87 as well. Going to be scoping around, using that new thrust factor, and he's able to actually secure a hardpoint kill. That's massive for him. Gets another one as well on a really good streak so far. Let's see if he can maybe get enough points to get his first perk.
Yeah, so we do have 10-5. Now, there is one big thing that's different about this hardpoint game than what is past in Call of Duty's, is the fact that instead of a 10-minute time limit, it's a 5-minute time limit. And while you're in the hardpoint, the time does not go down. So you can get into a hardpoint, but as long as you're not in the hardpoint capturing it, the time limit will go down. As you see, the time did pause at 4 minutes and 20 seconds as the Team War does have inside the hardpoint itself. So we're going to hop on board here with the second hard point. Let's hop on board here with Spectre. Spectre did just spawn up. His team rotating outside the hard point in full control of Team War here. Spectre jumps in, gets one kill with the VMP auto, but does get taken out himself by Abrupt. Abrupt coming in. TBE Thug does spot one, but that's actually going to be his teammate, Nova TBE. He does get one kill. Does have the dual wield LCAR-9s, and he did throw out, I'm not too sure what that was that he threw out.
Interesting. I think it might have been a proximity grenade. He wants to secure that hallway as best as he possibly can to prevent multiple areas of approach so that his team can better control this hard point. So far, however, the control of the hard point overall has been going on to War, who's been doing a really solid job. I want to switch over to them to figure out exactly what they're doing that's able to maintain this hardpoint control. And like we said before, the Scythe, an excellent weapon, I feel, especially in these sort of scenarios when you're having to deal with wave after wave of opponent.
Yeah, so another feature that they did implement into this Call of Duty as well is the fact that they have the time limit. So you see that TBE Thug is the objective player for his team, does have like, it's like a miniature minigun. But one thing is, once you die with it, you lose it for good. So, like, we do see Glitter has his annihilator ready, wondering how he will use this, as it is a one-shot, one-kill pistol. He does spot another one. He does pick up the kill with him with MA-A7 burst. Not too sure. It doesn't look like a burst weapon with the way he's firing it.
and I think that Nova, because he has that Annihilator available, is probably going to be busting it out whenever the rest of his team is ready to go ahead and contest the hard point that War has really been securing. Keep in mind that that pistol is that one-shot kill. It's that golden gun, and they can really utilize that weapon to clear out so many enemies in a matter of seconds.
Nova, TBE here, really the anchor for his team. This team, Team War, with the game only being out 5 days, they do know how the anchor spawns are. They know how to rotate out. Nova already rotating to the third hard point, or I think his fourth hard point in series with only 8 seconds left on it.
Ooh, gets picked off right through the window. Might be giving WCS an opportunity to cap the hard point. Just a couple of seconds left before it's going to be shifting, and here we go. Off to the new location they go.
Let's go with Team on Glitter here. He does get stopped here with a little bit of lag, it seems like, on the end. I'm not too sure if that's on our end or if that's on the actual game side's end. But let's go and hop aboard here. TB Thug, as he's just kind of rotating down. Do see a trophy system down over there, try and block any nades. But what they do not expect is that they are coming around.
Ooh.
Does spot one, and he did lose his Annihilator as he did pull it out. So we're going to see how this can work here. Does get shot right in the head.
And that's a heartbreaker, really, for that team. The fact that they had that power weapon ready to go, it's so sad to see it underutilized, especially seeing as they're playing from behind. WCS at only 19 points so far in comparison to War's 114.
One thing I want to do is I want to go into a quick listen in here. They do have this new feature considered in this one play where you can actually listen into the team. So let's hop on board with Team War and let's see how the communication is.
Watch out. Step out. Let me find out already in the spawn. Oh, he's one shot. Wow.
Hardpoint identified. Hostiles have captured the hard.
Repo destroyed.
I'm dead.
Oh. Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint lost.
Yeah, there's one train.
Friendly Hellstorm.
All train and grandma. One grandma.
Hardpoint contested.
I have a guardian here.
Guardian deployed.
So after we hear that communication, it does seem like there's really well communication there between the teams. So I'm not too sure what WCS is going to do, or worst case scenario, as they are down 46 to 157. They did come back up though. They did get a 30-point game, but as we see, Abrupt is just currently setting the hard point. But he does have Team WCS coming up. That's going to be Spectre.
And it's not even from kills. Their KDs are relatively similar. It's just that Team War has done a significantly better job of locking down these hard points. I mean, your KD can be whatever you want it to be really in this game type, but at the end of the day, if you're not securing the hard points, you're not really contributing as much to the team as you should be.
Yeah, it's one thing I did see that, happened in the showcase scenario between the EU All-Stars and US All-Stars is the fact that the EU All-Stars had all the hardpoint time. If you look at the hardpoint score there, Abrupt 1 minute 53 seconds inside the hardpoint. Captain DNA 1 minute 30 seconds. TV Thug 59 seconds. But going on to worst case scenario, you see Spectre the GOAT at the highest 36 points. 36 seconds inside the hardpoint. That doesn't really help your team out that much. Everybody else on their team has to get up. But we do see this little war streak coming down.
The Hellstorm.
Spot 3, but does not pick up any at all.
Ooh.
Gonna hop on board here with Abrupt. Abrupt does get shot from the outside, though. Let's hop on board TB Thug, just kind of waiting on the outside.
Ooh.
Does spot one, but Crone managing to get the easy kill on him. Crone now trying to get the shots on him through the window, but at his favela, no favela at all.
Switching things up to Captain DNA. Perched up into this room. Really wants to be defending this hard point. He's going to be utilizing the window there really to get as much vantage as he can. Switches things over after getting some intel from his teammate. Throws in that grenade into the wall. And I think that might actually open up some opportunities. We have the X-ray vision, and he finally is able to go ahead and take out Glitter, but is unable to go ahead and stuff out Crone, who's able to get him through the window, actually, that he was just at.
Yeah, so another thing we can feature right here is, if we go and hop on board here, Nova TV, he has the Annihilator Specialist perk, the MA7 with Crit Draw, Elo, and Stock. The RK5, Trophy System, Flat Jacket, Fast Hands, and Blast Suppressor. And then he actually has the Annihilator ready, though. Drops out one, actually that's 2 trophy systems. Really curious to see when this actual Annihilator will be used, though.
That was really interesting. He used actually the wall run maneuver to gain height advantage, and it just made it so awkward for him to really get the shots off. That time, however, getting picked off. Spectre the GOAT switching things over to Glitter. He is able to at least pick up one with a little bit of help from his teammate. Oh, couldn't quite land the second one. TB Thug with a very well-placed shot is able to come out on top at the end of that exchange.
Yeah, so we're going to hop on board here now with Kami Raza. Kami Raza, the highest KD for his team, 32 and 26. He seems to be the slave for his team, not doing that much OBJ work, just trying to get the maps out himself. But that's like that. There's 3 people down now. 3 people down for that was Team War. We see the wall run feature coming out from Glitter 0718, but at his prevail, he does not get killed. Scythe is ready though on one teammate. What was that team that has a Scythe ready?
And that's one thing worth noting is the fact that I haven't seen too much power up and utilization from worst case scenario. From War, we've seen them use the Scythe from time to time really to control the hard points and pick off all of the incoming waves of enemies, right? But we haven't seen that same level of utilization. Earlier we saw the Annihilator being pulled out only for that enemy to essentially to get shot up immediately after using it. So one thing worth noting going into, I guess, this next game is to figure out ways on how they can utilize their specialist abilities to the fullest, because we didn't see those coordinated pushes. We didn't see any chances really for worst case scenario to fight back because they didn't really work as well together as a team. And I don't think that has to do with kills, because if we look at the kills, they're relatively similar. But at the end of the day, if you're not going to be able to use your abilities together, then what's the point of having them anyways?
No, that is very true. You are completely correct about that. As we do see Nova TB leading his team in points, Captain DNA right behind him and right behind by TB Thug. Going to the scoreboard, we do see 38-10 by TB Thug, 14-21 by Abrupt, 26-15 Captain DNA, Nova TB 33-16. But the time in the hard point is what won it for him. Just one person on Team Worst Case Scenario breaking the minute mark, while you had 3 people on Team War have over a minute, and 2 of them have over 2 minutes inside the hard point.
I'm really excited to see how these teams are going to be combating in Search and Destroy. They obviously have some information going into the potential next hardpoint map that will be happening if we go to Game 4. But with Search and Destroy, I feel like the weapon choice might be different. I don't really see something like the Scythe, for example, coming in play because, like we said, it's better at dealing with those waves of opponents. Because in S&D, it's more of a scenario where the wave of player is basically one at a time. It's not so much of a wave, but more like a ripple of players. I don't think that the Scythe would really be the go-to option. So even though we saw that Team War was pretty proficient with that, it's not really going to be a factor, I think, when we go ahead and switch things up into Search and Destroy.
Very true. Search and Destroy is going to be on Infection. Infection's a map I have not played yet, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this actually will work for them. Just going to go through some players, as we did have some issues where, you know, we were getting the sound behind our player's name, so we're going to go in and mute the players, see what happens. Hopefully that does not affect the listening feature. Now we will not feature the listening feature obviously in Search and Destroy, as they do have to be in game chat, so I know the players will be going back in party chat, because once you die in game chat, you cannot have no more communication with the team, and communication is a very big point in Search and Destroy, as you only do get one life. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this works out for the teams.
Search and Destroy, when I look at this, reminds me a lot about Counter-Strike Go, more than anything else, right? It's essentially each team takes turns planting the bomb. You have one side that is defending, trying to go and get the defuse, or at the very least take out all of the enemies, depending on whether or not the bomb has been planted or not. And a big part of this game type is going to revolve around communication and misinformation, which sounds so weird, but misinformation actually I think could be like a really interesting tactic. You could fake a push towards B, for example, to get all of the defenders in that one area to have a really sneaky plant at C. So I want to see what each of these teams is going to be bringing to the table, how they can utilize information, both actual intel as well as misinformation, to go give their give their allies the information that they need, whereas setting up for scenarios where they can actually trip up and throw off their opponents.
Yep. So we're going to go into Infection, Search and Destroy. The sides do switch now, so Team War, I believe, will have the defending side. Not too sure necessarily what's going to happen with with WCS. Worst case scenario, down already 1-0. Worst case scenario, maybe a lot better on Search and Destroy, as Search and Destroy is a team-based game. But War already up 1-0, so going to see how it works with, Search and Destroy. Search and Destroy, first to 6 rounds. They do round switch every single round. Worst case scenario is going to be on the left-hand side, whereas Team War will be on the right-hand side. As we do have the ban protect voting system coming back into play, abrupt spectre to go up to vote. As we do see awareness is banned. Awareness being a perk that can make you listen to your teammates, even if they have dead silence, they can listen. So that being a perk that they could ban. But this perk, dual wield being featured a lot in the hardpoint. Hardpoint, they did use dual wield. So as you said before, will dual wield be banned? You know, will they get some info on their teammates where they will ban a certain item? Dead silence being protected. A very big perk that has to be used in Search and Destroy. Coming out, Tracker. Tracker, I'm not too sure what that perk does. Not too sure, you know, it could be the fact of, you know, seeing with like a target sight, something like that. Vision Pulse being banned again. Vision Pulse giving you the ability once you do get the, specialist bonus, it does pop up the locations of areas. So like X-ray vision, but for the players itself. Sixth Sense being banned. So
they want to cut off as many tools of information gathering as possible to make it so that this is preliminarily reliant on communication, physical, actual communication between team members versus simply being able to listen in or looking at a radar and going from there. So like we said before, like we said so many times, the key point of this match is going to be all about relaying information. And I'm really interested to see which team's going to be coming out on top in regards to that. Interesting, the smoke screen actually being banned. I think that might just be because they probably don't have as much. What's the word that I'm looking for? As
strategy?
Proficient. As they probably don't have proficiency necessarily with the utilization of the smoke screen. Tracker, by the way, Shadows Shannon, is the one where whenever they have footprints, you see like footprints between like the last 4 or 5 seconds. Words are hard sometimes. Whenever someone is moving from an area, if they were there within the last 4 or 5 seconds, you'll see like their footprints, and you can see like the trail of footprints. And again, it comes down to limiting the amount of resources the other team can have to be able to figure out ways as to where you are and where you're going.
Now, I want to say this, just based upon the specialist system itself, 2 glitches and 2 overdrives already.
Yeah, glitch is going to be really big here because with glitch, you can essentially click a button and all of a sudden, rotate it to a completely different area. And that's really good with something that I was touching on before with misinformation. You can bait the entire team to come to one site and then all of a sudden use an option like a glitch to go ahead and go to a completely different site. It's fascinating.
We do see active camo and War Machine being brought out here. So you do see Scythe. I think that Scythe was a machine gun we did see. Active camo being brought out. Active camo, I'm not too sure what exactly that does. I'm assuming it gives you a camouflage.
Yeah, it's camo. The name speaks for itself. And War Machine, I remember this one.
It's basically a grenade launcher inside your head.
Right. And that's a really interesting pick, actually.
It's a very good weapon to be used. To be honest, in Search and Destroy, I don't see how many.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, right? Because it's almost like an automatic grenade launcher, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm curious as to how this would really work out in Search and Destroy. I mean, on one hand, I suppose what's going into their minds is if they know that someone's trying to plant or defuse at a certain area, then they could just light up the whole room with grenades, and it's probably going to hit. Because it's one of those types of grenades where it'll bounce around, but the second that it actually has contact with an enemy is when it's going to immediately detonate. So maybe that's what's going in their ideas. They can maybe shoot it through windows to control certain areas and prevent either plants or diffuses.
Yep, so we do see the edit create a class now. They do have 90 seconds to create the class based upon what was banned and because when you ban it, you could ban score streaks, you could ban anything possible in this game. You could ban specialists, ban weapons, ban items, ban score streaks, anything is possible. One thing that's really being talked about in the community right now is a lot of people don't like the ban protect system because they say it takes too long. It only takes too long if you let it take too long. Another thing that's also being said is the fact that some feel like one ban and one protect, or one ban or protect, is too little considering how many aspects of the game there are. They say that if you have like two per character, then it would be a lot better because then you could ban some items, because there are pointless bans because they aren't playing with UAV, counter UAV, or care packages. But if you were to add that into the mix, you'd have to spend one of your bans on UAV. Otherwise, the team will get a UAV every single time you turn around because it's one of the easiest score streaks to get. So it's a pointless ban, or else you have to waste a perk and use Ghost. So it has its ups and downs. I personally don't see it being used. I personally like the fact that
I like it. I think it sets the tone for the match really early on, right? And it goes on to a very important aspect of war, which is gathering intel, right? And being able to utilize that intel. So I could see it really working out. I think folks need to give it more of a chance more than anything else.
I personally agree with that too. I honestly think that they need to have at least 2 bans and 2 protects. That's what I personally think, just for the sole fact that, like I said, there is 1 ban / 1 protect. It is kind of too far in between because you will get people that will use UAVs and counter UAVs, and that will make the game not as fun.
That's true. That's true. Why don't we go ahead and switch over to our bomb carrier really quickly?
Which one is a bomb carrier? Do they even pick up the bomb? This is the one thing that is different about this Call of Duty than past Call of Duties in COD caster mode. It does not show me which one has a bomb and which one does not have the bomb. I do feature that I do like is that actually shows you how many people are alive on the side. As you do see, Call Me Raza does pick up Nova TBE there. Nova TBE down. It does seem like they will be targeting, so seems like green team will be with the bomb. So the bomb is going to be in hands of Spectre the Goat. Has the bomb.
Yeah, so Spectre the Goat having the bomb available. Walking around up these steps with the Kuda. And this is perfect. His friend essentially cleared out the entire room from him. And you'll notice that because he was approaching from that side, he knew that there weren't any enemies. That allows Raza to go and look through the door and ensure that no one's able to come through. So now we have a really interesting scenario for war. Abrupt is going to be trying to contest here. He has the M87 out. He's trying to get just a single headshot if he can, but he's unable to do so. The room, however, right now is vacant, but it's very possible that this is going to be a bait and switch. And there it was right there. Shut down immediately after trying to defuse that bomb.
20 seconds left now. Bomb does take 7.5 seconds to defuse. Add in another half a second just to pick up the bomb. Only thing Call Me Raza has to do is just play for time here. He's trying to get the bomb plane out. Oh! He not get the kill. Call Me Raza picks up the kill.
That's big. That's big. I was really worried about WCS going into this. We saw that when it came to the kill department, they were fine. But what they really struggled with was objectives. But here, with some really great teamwork, they were able to hold down this bomb site long enough to go ahead and get that plant. Really big. And not only were they able to get the plant, but even post-plant, I feel like they did just a great job with baiting. There were so many times that we saw War trying to come in an attempt to defuse, and they would be getting picked off consistently.
Yes. So I'll hop on back on board with a bomb carrier here. That's going to be TBE Thug, I believe. Yeah, so that was TBE Thug that does have the bomb. LCAR-9 auto with the Shiva Quick Draw Elo and that. Stock. Does get taken out by Clone though, but there is another teammate there that was going to be Nova TB picking up the kill. So Nova TB does have the bomb. They are going to rotate just back, which is a very smart move by them. A bomb site in full control of Team WCS.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a push towards B right now. Like you mentioned before, A is completely surrounded, but it looks like WCS is getting the intel. They're understanding that might not be the place to go.
I don't think he saw the player there. I don't think he saw.
This is going to be a 3v3.
He didn't see glitter.
As we hop into the map. So both teams right now ready to go ahead surrounding this B bomb site.
He used glitch. Did you see that?
That was interesting.
He used glitch. He killed the player, used glitch to get out of there. And just like that, it's 1v3 or 1v2 situation now. Call Me Raza, last one up. Call Me Raza will not be able to clutch it. Nova TB gets a kill. Tied 1-1 now.
One apiece here. One apiece. What was it that you think made it so drastically different in this game in contrast to the last one?
This, you mean like this round compared to the last round? Some games, and this has been proven in past Call of Duties, where some sides are easier to attack from than defend. There was in Modern Warfare 3, there was a map called Underground, and Underground, it was easier to attack than what it was to defend. So if you could defend, it was a lot easier. Or, I mean, if you could win a defensive round, you're more eligible to win the match. This game mode, it seems like on this one, kind of going to be like Underground, where it's going to be easier to attack B than whether it's going to be attack A. So that bomb site B, I think, will be featured a lot in this game mode or in Infection, just for the sole fact of how easy access that match is. Spectre the Dope does it taken out, though. That's going to be TBE Thug with the LCAR-9 long barrel.
And right now, War, they try to control the entirety of that B bomb site, but the grenade ends up catching them off guard, allowing Crone to finally start planting this bomb. Looks like he's going to be able to go ahead and get away with the plant as well. Let's see what the push is going to be in regards for the defuse. War, they have the advantage in terms of numbers, but just as I say that, it becomes a 2v2 scenario. Switching over to Nova, he spots one, but he's so far away right now from the bomb. Will he have enough time to go ahead and get the defuse?
2v1 now. So the defuse will be in play, 25 seconds
Oh,
left.
they got plenty of time. They got plenty of time.
Yep.
They were able to actually clean up the entirety of WCS, which worked out perfectly in their favor. And that actually it was like the better strategy. They knew that with the time that they had enough where they could go ahead, scope around, and ensure that every opponent was neutralized, right? Every threat was neutralized. And that gave them this open amount of time to go ahead and defuse the bomb afterwards. Whereas, in contrast, we saw them try beforehand to retake very aggressively in regards to the bomb site. And they kept on essentially being a victim to the bait and switch. So here, the slight switch that they made allowed them to have a really easy defuse, which worked out in their favor, seeing as they're finally up a game.
Yeah, so we're going to hop on board here now with the bomb carrier again. The one that okay, so bomb carrier is going to be, let's see, I think it's Abrupt. No, sorry, it was not Abrupt. It is going to be Nova TV.
Nova TV already getting that bomb plant, and he's able to pick up Spectre the Ghost as well. They're doing a great job of securing the house here. He spots one across, but he knows that he doesn't want to engage just yet. Going to be taking a second to switch things up. Rounding around the corner, there's another, and he's able to go ahead and pick off Crone as well. Excellent play so far from him.
I want to say this. Now, Nova, whenever Spectre died, Nova wasted his overdrive feature. Not too sure why he necessarily ran in there with the overdrive, but Nova TV picks up 2 kills there on Kamikaze and Glitter. Gets a 2-piece for the final kill cam. 3-1 now.
Fantastic play. Doesn't even need to wait for that bomb to go off. Decides to go ahead and take the game right back into his hands. And let's look at that 2-piece once again. Catching Glitter by surprise there as he was trying to scope around and cover that rock area.
Switching operation ready point.
So 3-1 now.
3-1 right now. Worst case scenario. It really is looking like their worst case scenario, to be perfectly honest. As we switch over to Spectre the Ghost. Going to be covering that bomb carrier as best as he possibly can. Glitter out with a sniper, and Kami Raza, we've seen him put in some serious work for his team in Game 1, but we haven't seen that same sort of prevalence in the following rounds.
One thing that I will have to say that really features, or that WCS is going to have to do is, Spectre the Goat just got his first kill of the game. 0-4, Glitter is still 0-4, Kamikaze down now 6-4, Crone 4-4. Whereas you look on the other team, Nova TV 8-1.
And this is really interesting. I think this is the first A bomb plant that we've had the entirety of this series, and it may have actually caught WCS off guard. The one thing that they have, though, is the advantage, but that's slowly getting ripped apart as Nova's able to go ahead and pick up one. About to get 2 as well. He's made this a one-on-one scenario, but he just gets caught in the back just before he can go ahead and be the MVP for his team. Super close, but WCS still able to hang in there.
I have a feeling there was a lot of miscommunication with his teammates there, because Nova, if you watch how he was running towards the bomb like how he did not have another person that he had to play against.
He didn't have anyone else with him, though. He was the last player alive. There was no communication except for whatever he had remaining, the scraps of info he had remaining.
But no, what's different about this is his teammates can still communicate with him. So they can watch one feature that you want to show is like the scoreboard. So like, you know, for instance, we can see how many people are alive. His teammates should be keeping track of who's alive and who's dead, just for the sole fact that that's going to happen. You know, you're going to have issues where you're going to come into a 2v1 situation or 3v1 situation, and whenever you take into account that you think, oh, hey, I killed 2 guys, that's it. That can happen, but you do see bomb is now planted at B. 4 people still alive now, but both players stunned.
Ooh, and that secured this house so nice as Nova's able to pick up Spectre before getting picked off by Glitter, going for this defused right now. But will he have enough time? Will he have enough coverage? You can see in the minimap there's already an enemy encroaching into that territory. Will they be in time? Just seconds short, and WCS is able to hang in there for yet another round. This series is tied at 3 apiece.
Yep, 3 apiece, 3 rounds left to go. Crone does get that last kill for his teammate that's on B on. I'm not too sure who that's on, but he does get the kill with the MA-A7 reflex stock. 1 burst, 1 kill. So now 3-3 tied now. War 3, WCS 3.
I really want to see both of these teams utilizing their specialist abilities. This is the last round of the series, isn't it?
No, so it goes to 6.
Goes to 6. Oh, okay, goes to 6. I thought we were playing just first to 4.
No, so it goes to 6.
Never mind then. Forget everything I just said.
He does have his glitch feature ready here. Curious to see how this will work. He is actually running overkill as well, so he does have a locust on his back, which is going to be the thermal locust with MA87 reflex and stock.
And this is just an easy bomb plant, but can they secure the point? TBE Thug has something to say about that. Spectre the Goat, however, answering immediately afterwards. Oh, he had the War Machine out, but it got stuffed out immediately. That's really unfortunate, especially given the fact that they had the read in regards to where exactly the cluster of the team was. Oh, seems to be a one-on-one scenario right now. Nova TBE versus Glitter. He has the jump on him, but unless they say that Glitter literally gets the jump on him, gets that height advantage, uses it so perfectly. Nova was unprepared. You can see this one more time. Even though he gets shot at first, he's going to go ahead, boost up. He's expecting him to be in the corner, doesn't quite spot him here, and is able to get an easy ankle shot to go ahead and seal this in favor of WCS.
I will have to say, this is a very big thing that happened in that round. TB Thug and Captain DNA, they both lost their specialist feature. They used a scythe, and they used the War Machine. TB Thug got 1 kill with the scythe, but ended up dying afterwards. Captain DNA got no kills with the War Machine. Those are 2 crucial things you need, as you do see that Glitter, on the other hand, does have his War Machine full capability here. So that's going to be a very big power weapon going to be placed, especially if they plan on targeting B, because you can just shoot in B and kill anybody you want to. Flak Jacket only will protect you, but it takes 3 bullets to kill you with the War Machine if you have Flak Jacket.
Ooh, a little bit of a skirmish here. Spectre the Goat getting picked off just after he's able to pick off Abrupt. Going back into the B side, immediately contested, and WCS getting right back on board. And I think the fact that that Team War wasn't able to do much in that round, along with the fact that they've already burned their resources, their specialist perks in a previous round, might make it so that this is looking incredibly disastrous for them. Because Team WCS has just one more round to win, I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to all use their special abilities immediately. We saw some players with the overdrive feature. They might be using that to go ahead and get a very quick bomb plant, making it so that they have even more time to go and contest the space.
Yeah, so Glitter does have his War Machine ready, and Crone does have his glitch feature ready. They are going for a push here, so we will see an A bomb plant coming out. But one big thing I have to say is WCS has won 4 straight rounds now. 4 straight uncontested rounds, just like that. Crone does pick up 1 kill, so it's a 3v4 situation already. Team War down 1 player. Only has really 1 player left over here to rotate, and that is going to be Nova TB.
Oh,
Nova TBA.
He's unable to cover his teammate. And so Nova TBA ends up picking up 1, has 1 more in his sights, but he has to reload, and it's going to cost him. Just kidding. He's able to actually somehow come back after, despite the fact that he had to do that reload. I thought that was done. I thought that skirmish was over, but that was really unfortunate. One-on-one scenario. Call me Raza versus Abrupt, and he's just gonna be picked off as WCS is gonna be able to secure round 6.
So 1-1 now. Worst case scenario takes this round. A big play, Call Me Raza right here. Didn't use his what do you want to call ability is? I don't know what ability is called off the top of my head, but the ability, the glitch. There we go. So I had a little tongue tie there, but what happened that Nova TB did there, he used his overdrive feature, killed 1 immediately, because overdrive, you do come in at an unreally amount of speed there, and caught them off guard, got 3 kills because of it. Almost did not get that secured on the 3rd kill, but luckily enough, reloaded his weapon just in enough time, ended up getting the kill, but sadly enough, he was not able to, rotate back out before he was picked up.
And let's go ahead and look at those KDs. I gotta shout out Nova. So many times he surprised me, especially at the end there. Even amidst the fact that he had to reload, he was still able to get that 3rd enemy. He just came just a touch short, and it was certainly a heartbreaker for Team War.
One big thing I would have to say that I saw there was Nova was 8-1 to start out with whenever he first featured a score. Ended up 15-6. So, he did go 7-5. But his teammates just did not do what needed to be done there for him. They did not really help his teammates out, and it costed them the game. They were up 3-1. WCS worst case scenario, came back and won 5 straight in a row. Just cannot have that happen. You can't. You cannot have that happen, or else that stuff like that will happen to you, and it's just not the best thing to happen. But what can we do? I'm going to go into Combine on Uplink. Combine on Uplink, a very different game mode you're going to see here.
Uplink on Combine.
Yeah, Uplink on Combine. But as we see, the players are going to respectively switch sides to figure out what teammate's going to be which, as we do wait and see, so we can actually see which teammates That way you have, do the right scores and everything like that.
I'm excited that the series is tied at 1 apiece. I really am. Because that means that, if nothing else, we're going to be able to talk about that hardpoint match that we have for Game 4 on Hunted, at the very least, right? And I think that when we talk about information gathering, the intel that they got from hardpoint on Fringe is going to be really useful there, because they're able to essentially have a direct convert, right? You know exactly what one team is probably going to be running for one game type, and you had to win that one game so that you can use that information later in round number 4. And that's huge. That is so huge, as long as they can remember all that info going in.
Yeah, so Team War is going to be on CBD, I believe. So we're going to see what happens here, as I'm trying to figure out what teams are going to be on which teams. Kind of, codcasting, like I said, features still being used. Going to see how this works out, but it should still be Team War as the red CDB, and then worst case scenario as Black Ops time. Yeah, Black Ops team. But we're going to hop in on board with Combine and Uplink as soon as the teams respectively switch sides, and we'll see as the game starts in 5 seconds.
So I think that Overdrive is going to be a huge, huge perk in this, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is either protected or banned immediately. Whoever has those trigger fingers is going to be ready to go, because if you have something that gives you that insanely quick burst movement, then it's massive for a game that's all about taking something and rushing it over to another side. Instead, it looks like the protect is going to be on the car. That's
the ban.
Yeah, the ban. Apologies, the ban. And there's the ban on Overdrive that I had predicted before. TBE Thug not ready to go ahead and mess with that.
It's very interesting to see, I really expected one of these teams to protect it. I did not see that being banned. Because Overdrive, like you said, is a very big feature that can happen in uplink, especially on Combine, because Combine, you can run on one of the sides and then just immediately jump into the other uplink portal. But Psychosis being banned as well, so you won't see more.
And the Scythe as well. Really unique bans coming out so far. Spectra the Goat probably saw the prevalence of the Scythe in the first round and doesn't want to deal with that going into this one.
No, so a very big feature. Nova TB bans Rip. Very weird ban for a attachment. I do realize how important that is, especially with SMGs and especially with assault rifles, because of recoil. Smoke screen being banned again. I can understand this ban because you can smoke out the uplink portal, come run in, dash, jump inside of it. Very interesting to see that. But still, the grip, nah. Like, come on. Like, what else can you ban besides that? But it's very interesting to see Rapid Fire being banned. Another big feature.
No protects so far at all. And we're not going to be seeing a protect here either. I don't think, because there's nothing left to ban. And so yeah, that should just be called bans. There was no protects whatsoever in that sequence, which is so funny to me. Strange.
One thing I think we will see a lot in this game is going to be used as concussions and flashbangs, because they did ban tactical mass, so you have no protection over it. But kinetic armor being one of the first ones being picked.
That's a brilliant pick. What the kinetic armor allows you to do is it basically makes it so that bullets bounce off of your body. You're still susceptible to melee, you're still susceptible to explosives, and you're still susceptible to those headshots. But I think in a mode like this, whenever you have like the ball and you're trying to run it over, kinetic armor is the perfect pick, especially if you're going to be seeing a lot of usage of the wall running into wall jumps and options like that. You're going to be having such an awkward hitbox that headshots might not actually be as, I guess, as simple to do as they would be by standard. But an interesting pick actually from Crone, that Vision Pulse coming out.
Vision Pulse actually not being banned in this one. Going to be very interesting to see how this will be worked, as well as Glitch. Glitch, I think the two people who are going to be running the bomb is going to be Glitch and then the Kinetic Armor. Kinetic Armor with the bomb, with a satellite uplink thing, you do get a shield that goes with it. So Kinetic Armor plus a shield, kind of OP in my opinion. Glitch also, when you're being shot at, just glitch back and you can rotate, go another way. Kinetic Armor being picked out again by Call Me Raza. So both teams have Kinetic Armor having here.
Yeah, Call Me Raza with the Kinetic Armor. We saw how solid he was in that last game at locking down rooms. And so this is going to really enable that feature even more, I feel, seeing as now the opponents that are squaring off against him have to get that headshot or have to go and contest with explosives.
Yeah, so one thing I want to cast on here is Active Camo, Annihilator, Vision Pulse, Kinetic Armor. But on the opposite side, you have Kinetic Armor, Gravity Spikes, Combat Focus, and Glitch. I'm not too sure what Combat Focus does. You may be a little bit more insight behind that. But to be honest, it seems like Team War has the better specialist picks.
The combat focus adds a multiplier to the score to help the players increase their kill streaks, right? So it basically makes it so that with the combat focus, Nova is going to be able to access his kill streaks a lot easier and a lot quicker. So I wouldn't be surprised if now that he's in the create a class mode, he's probably picking some of those classes that are probably on the higher spectrum of the tier. Or of course he could also go on the direct opposite, pick all those low kill requirements classes, right? Or kill streaks. Either way, he's going to be a player to look out for sure. There's going to be a lot of action coming in from Nova, as well as Raza. I think that for me, those are the two players I'm really looking at, is Nova and Raza, just because of how prevalent they've been, how many moments we've really seen from them in this series, and especially in that last game.
So the one thing I do have to actually state on as well, this is the first time that they've used a full 90 seconds to finish their creative class. That grip being banned probably hurt them a lot, but also just for the sole fact that, you know, it is uplink. They did change the game modes up. You know, having to do the specialist drafting system, you know, you have to change your classes up based upon the specialist draft. Overdrive being banned, you know, you won't have to be able to run as fast as you can, so you necessarily can't use the SMGs. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this will work, as we are editing score streaks. Spectre the GOAT, Raza, only ones left.
And Captain DNA with the gravity spikes. That intrigues me. That intrigues me a lot. Unlike a mode like Hardpoint, I don't really see too many moments when a lot of folks are contested in one area. But what we can maybe expect from Captain DNA is any time that satellite uplink is on the field, he's going to be using those gravity spikes to send out that shockwave and ensure that he can cap that immediately.
Yeah, so Run can be killed in air while his gravity spikes are acting before he slams into the ground. So that, just reading the bottom part of the screen here, so you know you can kill the gravity spikes before they hit the ground. It would be very hard to, but that'd be interesting to see how that works out here. As we do have Team War, gonna hop aboard here with them, as they just seem to have a little bit better going on for them. But ball being in the middle of the map, gonna hop aboard here with Nova TBE. Nova TBE going off last game, 15-6, I believe. Let's start out with MA-A7 burst. Gets one kill immediately. Raza. Now we are, like I said, we are using Arena Pro rules, so there is no respawn delay in this uplink game. Now in the actual competitive rules that we had in Advanced Warfare, there was a 5-second respawn delay. But Nova TBE just kind of watching for his bomb. Electromagnetic interference, so he did get hit with the EMP grenade there.
Still going to be securing this slight little hallway here. Nova TV recognizing that there might be an opponent, but he's about to get flanked right now. Picks off Crone, but there's an enemy coming from the right side as well. He understands that it's not going to be his time. Oh, wow, there's a bit of a firefight, I think, that was about to go down.
Yeah, Captain DNA now on board. Does get one, though, so he does spot another one here. Trying to throw the nade. Does get another one that was on Glitter. This uplink game without a respawn delay is going to be very hard, I can see. I know in Arena Pro, when I play uplink, it's very hectic because of the no respawn delay. It's very hard to really position your team because if you die on the other side of the map, you spawn on your side. It's like you very rarely can get a one-point play, so it's going to be really much one-point plays here.
Crone has not been having the best game, but he's finally able to make up for lost time by taking that kill on Captain DNA. Going to be using this reload here, peeking around this corner. There's a lot of enemies around him, but it looks like we're going to be switching up to Spectre the Ghost, who's able to come out on top against Abrupt before getting picked off by Captain DNA.
Yeah, so TB Thug does spot one, does pick up Raza there, does get one kill. He's pushing up with his teammates a little bit more, but they're just rotating around on the other side. Abrupt all alone in the middle of the map, just kind of protecting a satellite drone. Does get one, so he does have the armor. His armor already halfway down, though, so he did manage to get tagged. Trying to just juke out the people here. Does spot one. His teammate managed to pick him up, I guess.
That's good, clearing the landing for him as he's trying to rush it over to his base. Hoping to get that cap. Wide open, but he used the glitch.
He used the glitch feature.
Oh, that was so smart, but not enough. He's able to see through the trick immediately and ends up taking that ball right back.
Nova TV does stop the ball being played, but does not realize that there's going to be one right there. A big play coming out there from TB Thug as the ball is reset there. TB Thug does spot one in the corner. Does not be able to pick him up. Ooh. Spots another one, but just boost slides out of the way. He's going to be waiting there to play.
See, it goes. I like the play because he saw there was a little bit of awareness to it. His teammate was in help, and so he switched targets. The only problem was that it left him wide open to be getting flanked, and it cost him at the end. Nova TBE going to be taking out 2 before getting taken out by Glitter. We're switching things over towards Abrupt, who's able to pick up a really easy kill on Glitter, riling him full of bullets as he's on the way down, and he has the ball in play, the satellite in his clutches, but he's able to get snuffed out by Glitter, getting that vengeance kill immediately after before getting picked off by Thug.
One thing I do not know if this is actually the same as what it is in Advanced Warfare. In Advanced Warfare, once you lose your shield, you can throw the satellite and pick it back up, and you will regain back your shield. Not too sure, as I've not seen this been used a lot in this game. Did kind of see it used there, but you know the HUD rebuilding did disable the actual seeing that how much shield you have. So this will be very interesting to see if Kamikaze does get dropped down in the middle of the map. Crone gets dropped as well. Does have his specialist ability though.
Wow, lots of specialist perks ready to go right now for WCS. I want to see if they're going to be using a combined push. I'll simultaneously activating those, or if they're just going to be going for it one at a time more than anything else. Crone right now sitting at 5 and 12, knows he needs to go ahead and make up for the loss that he's been at. He's already pushed to 5 and 13. He's not having the best game so far. Let's hope he can shake it off going into this mid game. Dohami Raza picking up the satellite, rushing it over, and he has that the armor, the heavy armor that we talked about before, is going to allow him to avoid so much, and he's finally able to put one on the board. WCS coming out on top.
Yeah, so he did use that ability himself. I believe Crone will actually only use his Vision Pulse when it comes down to the fact of them pushing back up again, like Cali War there. I do really expect he should have used it there. I don't know why he didn't, but he should have used it there. We do see the active camo come out from Glitter. Glitter does have his active camo ready. Has not used it yet though. It would be very smart play to use it as soon as his teammate gets able to pick him up. But on hoverboard here with TBE Thug. TBE Thug gets the headshot on Spectre the Ghost. His Connect armor, I believe, is ready as well. Not too sure though. Yeah, his Connect armor is ready. Let's see if he will use the same thing. As he does use the same thing, but instead he does get taken out. Gravity Spikes being able to be used here from Captain DNA. Does get the XR2 auto burst on. That was going to be Spectre the Goat.
Gets a headshot there. Still peering around the tank. Goes to the top, but is picked off immediately. That's going to be the end of time. WCS up 1 so far. So I'm surprised, honestly, by the lack of caps, but I suppose with Overdrive being banned, it prevented a lot of movement options that will result in a lot more points being scored.
The really big reason that that's another big reason as well, but the one big reason is the fact that like I said, there is no respawn timer. So once you die, you spawn immediately back up unless you want to watch a kill cam. Now that is very good, but also very bad, because if you are on the other side of the map, if you have the drone in the other side of the map or the satellite on the other side of the map and you die, you spawn back in your whole base. But if you kill one of them, they can immediately spawn back up in their own base. And like you see, the Annihilator being pulled out, does get the 1 kill on it. Does have a satellite drone.
I didn't like
toss it up in the air.
I did not like that option at all. He had the Annihilator out. I didn't think it was a really wise play to go and use the go ahead and pick up the satellite. It would have been better if that was delegated towards another teammate. That way he could still use the power weapon that he had while still being able to have an option to relay the satellite towards the objective.
I do agree with you on that as well. You know, I do not agree with that play as well. But let's see if the listening feature will work, as we did mute the players. Let's see if it will work, just so I kind of, you know, get a little insight on what the actual players are thinking themselves. Which team would you get to listen into, WCS or War?
Let's listen into War. They're down right now a game. I know that communication is going to be frantic. Let's take a listen in and see what's going on through their heads.
Yep, let's go in.
Satellite. Satellite reset.
Battery KIA.
Got a ball, let me get a ball.
We have the satellite.
Having a little bit of troubles right now with that listen-in feature. Apologies for that. We're going to be switching right back over to Crone, who seems to be doing a lot better this round. He's evened up his KD to 18-18. And he right now has that M87, is going to be able to pick off Abrupt as he's going up that hallway, up those stairs, controlling this top area pretty nicely so far, and switching, rotating back and forth. There's Call Me Raza. He has the ball in play, but he's going to be losing it very, very quickly. Has to go ahead and understand that he's
Vision Pulse is ready though. So Vision Pulse is going on. So, you know, it's going to be very interesting to see as he does have the vision pulse ready. He did just use it, though. Saw no one. Very bad play to use it right there. I honestly believe he should use it when he pushed up in the middle map. So it'll be very interesting to see as gravity spikes is able to be used by Captain DNA. I have not seen him use these that much. Curious if he just picked the gravity spikes because he couldn't have picked anything else really, or you know what is really going on.
It's a very situational. It's a very situational play more than anything else, right?
Yeah, I wanted to say that he did a very smart play. They picked up the drone, tossed it to the opposite player, pulled out his gun, and then shot the opposite player.
That was so smart. That was incredibly intelligent. Switching things, going over to Captain DNA. He still has those gravity spikes available. Like we said, it's going to be a very situational tool more than anything else. TBE Thug right now running down with that VMP. Trying to go ahead and cover Nova TBE. He's going to be rushing out in front. Nova TBE going to be picking off two, actually getting that headshot on Spectra, while it looks like there's going to be an opportunity, but no, Glitter ends up getting meleeed by that before he's able to go ahead and clean up Thug.
Now, I want to say that I want to know who that player is. That's going to be Spectre the GOAT. I know. That's going to be Glitter. Glitter did a very smart play there. He pushed up. I did not like how he pushed up at all, but he did try to get the 1-point play, but sadly he was not able to. The ball is going to be reset. He pushed into the player's base. Instead of pushing out, he did wait for his teammates to come and, you know, help him rotate. So very good feature being used. But what they're trying to do, and I see it actually work this time, it didn't work the first time, is actually grabbing the satellite and tossing it into the opposite player's base, just trying to get the little quick fix there. Kamikaze does pick up one, does get taken out himself though. Try and go on board here with that. I believe that's, man, that is one feature I necessarily kind of do not like in this game, is the fact that when somebody does have a satellite drone, it will not highlight their name until you can see who they are. And that's one feature I don't like the best, but, you know, it is what it is. Kamikaze does get an easy 2-point play here as long as he can get inside. Just like that, 4-0 now in favor of WCS.
WCS is running away with this. 40 seconds left on the clock. Team War, I don't know if they have enough time. They don't have overdrive available. I mean, how realistic is it really for us to expect a comeback? Especially seeing as Kamikaze is automatically decimating the red team anytime they even try to grab that satellite uplink.
If there was a respawn delay, I could necessarily see, you know, them coming in. But without the respawn delay, I just don't see it happening. Is you spawn in too quickly, going for those plays like that. Like, if that did not rotate back in their base like how it did right there, there was no way that that was going to respawn, because if it got stuck on top, it takes about 10 to 12 seconds for the satellite to reset itself.
Worst case scenario, ends up winning that round.
They won 4-0. Now, I will say,
whoa. No, sorry, War ended up winning that.
No, it is worst case scenario. So another thing that's currently longing Codcaster mode is the fact that the other team, it'll pop up with the other team winning. So that's a feature that they need to fix in Codcaster mode. Will show the other team winning. As you see,
there we go.
Wins this one, but originally showed that War won.
I got so confused for a second. I thought I was losing my mind gradually.
No, but no, trust me.
And that's really important for WCS because we saw it in Game 1 how dominant War was on hardpoint. And seeing as game number 4 is going to be a hardpoint mode, it's very likely that if they had lost this round, they would have lost the following round as well.
Yeah, so going into some kills there. 32-29, 25-33, 26-30, 28-29. On the other end, 27-32. Couldn't really see the other scores. I'll pull them up as soon as we get into the lobby. But killing is kind of even. Not very many kills. Like, if there's any sort of kills that separates the teams, it's one team had like five or less kills above. There was no other really way of going about it. But we do see next game will be hunted on hardpoint. Not too sure if the teams will change, but we'll watch and see as the teams do, you know, change over. All of them are currently in Codcaster mode. So we're going to see what the teams change into to kind of figure out what is going on here. I will unmute the players as that way we can actually utilize the listening feature in the next games. So it's going to be very interesting to see. But going into hunted on hardpoint, what will be used between the two teams? Will we see Team War dominate, or will we see Team War's case scenario come back?
I'm seeing Bands of the Scythe immediately. War was able to use that to secure ground really easily and deal with the oncoming onslaught of worst case scenario. So if I'm WCS, I'm banning the Scythe immediately. That's a given. That's a given. But before we actually go into this next game, we're going to take a quick commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to be right back with round number 4. Stay tuned.
All right, today is day 0 for Versus Gameplay Arcade. So I invited a couple people that I know and trust who have kind of been with me and with us since the first the first tournament that I ran almost 6 years ago out of a little gym, not knowing anything about running tournaments. They've come out and they're kind of helping me dry test the place, make sure the power works, the setups work, the internet works. So far, so good. We're at about 70%, but so far, some good feedback.
Right now, we're here at the Versus Gameplay Arcade preview space. This is basically the temporary space that we have in here to kind of show everybody exactly what we're doing, let you guys know that, you know, we're here for the community to help you guys out and give y'all somewhere to go throughout the week if you want to play different games and, you know, also practice with the locals and do just a whole bunch of different things. With the preview space, we do have, you know, a few setups here and also the arcade games. We're just going to do it big for everybody out here in the DFW, and right now we're just kind of starting it off just to give you guys a little preview of what, you know, we have in store for you.
I want to thank everyone for coming out. It was a free invitational event, so hopefully everyone had a good time. We had food and drinks for everyone, and we're having a Street Fighter Invitational tournament where the winner will get a really nice Day 0 jersey shirt. Again, today's theme was just to kind of have fun, give me some good feedback, give us some good feedback. So thanks to everyone who came out. Thanks to Mike, Markel, and Luis for all of us getting together and putting this together. So hopefully good things are here to come. Thanks.
Welcome back. I don't know about you, Shadow, but I feel like I'm ready to go.
I'm ready as well,
Let's just jump right into it. We're done. Map number 4 is about to be underway. Hardpoint on Hunted. Let's go ahead and get right into this, shall we?
Yeah, game starts in 7 seconds, so another big feature that, you know, past Call of Duty didn't feature as well is the fact that you actually do have a game countdown time. I do like that. So ban and protect voting starting in 3 seconds. Glitter 0718 and TB Thug, first ones to ban / protect.
I'm expecting the scythe to be banned if I'm WCS. War utilized that so efficiently, but it looks like Glitter instead is going to be banning the car.
Another thing I want to see banned is War Machine. The War Machine or the fire, it's a flamethrower for the specialist flamethrower. Not too sure what the name. Purifier, one of the first ones being featured at the you know, showcase event where they benched Call of Duty World League. TB Thug banning the kinetic armor.
This is a smart play. TB Thug being oh geez, yeah, TB Thug, if I remember correctly, is on the side of War.
Yeah.
And so they already do a great job of securing the hard points, right? So they want to really limit as many resources as possible from WCS using certain options to retake some of those hard points. So that's why we're seeing the ban on kinetic armor, as well as gravity spikes from Call Me Raza. That's very curious to me. I didn't see that option being utilized at all in the first match. Abrupt's going to go ahead and ban 6 cents. Here, but yeah, gravity spikes don't really make sense to me. Finally, the scythe is banned by Spectre the Goat. Really intelligent ban here.
Vision Pulse also being banned as well. Vision Pulse being a very big tool that can be utilized in hardpoint, as you can see players inside the hardpoint, so you know exactly where they are, so you can call them out to your teammates. I expect that to probably be banned in probably almost every single hardpoint, unless you want to see a lot of teams use that as one of their specialist picks for sure. Frag Grenade being banned. Guess they don't want to deal with that inside the hardpoint. Like I said, last ban being banned was the War Machine.
Yep. Really interesting bans. No protects. No protects. And I think that because this game is so new, everyone is still getting used to all of the weapons. They don't have any real preferences yet, so it hasn't really come to a point where they feel like they need to protect certain options. But
yep, so we do see the Sparrow coming out on Team War here. Another thing that we'll probably see is going to be the Purifier weapon. Purifier is probably going to be a big thing that's going to happen here. Sparrow being also out on Glitter. Glitter on Team WCS. Sparrow, I'm not too sure how it's going to be utilized in this. I could be wrong and hunted on the map. It may be a very good feature that can be used, but Sparrow just in general on Hardpoint, I don't see it being used. But as I do say that, Firebreak, Purify, Captain DNA, and Call Me Raza picks Purify both. Not too sure if they kind of decided on doing mirror matching, you know? Maybe they might chose to do Overdrive, Purifier. We'll see. Spectre the GOAT.
I can't wait to see how the Sparrow is utilized. I think that it's a really intriguing weapon. The fact that it has that explosion afterwards could be really good to break up clusters of enemies that are all clumped together. So it would be cool. It would be really cool. And with one on each side, it should be fun to watch. Call Me Raza picking up the Purifier is going to be really interesting. I see the Purifier as something whenever you're entering a room, or used to whenever you're entering a room, not so much when you're locking down and securing a room. I think that's what Call Me Raza has been demonstrating that he's most proficient at.
Now, you did say combat focus. You do get the score streaks faster, right? Or you do get the specialist
correct.
bonus. Okay, so combat focus with the score streaks faster. I see Nova probably being used score streaks. He's going to be Nova was the anchor for their team in the previous hardpoint. So he's going to be the Slayer that's not going to be inside the hardpoint. He's not going to die as much compared to what the other teammates are because he is trying to maintain the spawns. So that is going to be a very big thing coming out with him because he's going to be the one that gets the most kills. Therefore, he's going to be the one that gets the most score streaks. Psychosis coming out on Crone 315. Not too sure how that will best be utilized.
It's just going to be sending out the decoys. Sending out the decoys. Really important. Maybe setting up for some flanks.
Yep. The active camo, that's going to be another big one coming out from Spectre the GOAT. That's going to be a very interesting thing because he can go inside the hard points with the camo. So it's going to be very interesting to see. I do think that based upon what I'm seeing here, I honestly think that Team WCS has a better specialist system than what Team War has with the Psychosis, Camo, Purifier, and Sparrow.
Possibly, but what we've seen from WCS is that they struggle so much when it comes to hardpoint. The first game was an absolute slaughter, and I honestly expected it to be a 3-0 and that I would have been out of here half an hour ago, Shadow. But instead, we're going on to map number 4. A really great showing so far from both of these teams.
Yep.
5 seconds, and we should be good to go.
Yep, edit score streaks starting in 1 second, 30 seconds to edit the score streaks. Don't see that many edits coming out, as they did not ban anything really. But you know, you did mention that they did struggle in hardpoint. The one thing they struggled in hardpoint the most was actually getting time in. But if you notice that their specialist perks are basically to get inside the hardpoint, Purify to clear the hardpoint out, Psychosis to send the clones in, you know, kind of see where people are. Active camo, you can use that, run inside the hardpoint, get some kills. So maybe they noticed that and they say, hey, we got to do something that, you know, is going to help us a little bit better with our hardpoint game. On the other end, you do see Purify, Combat Focus, Sparrow, Overdrive. So Overdrive, Abrupt, going to get in that hardpoint very quickly. Combat Focus, you know, you're going to get the Specialist, kill streaks a lot faster. Purifier, going to come inside, just wreak havoc with the Flamethrower. Sparrow, the Sparrow's probably going to be used as just a long-range marksman type weapon like how you mentioned. Just kind of getting the picks off, you know, from angles. Very interested to see how that's going to be used. But we're going to start our board here, Nova TBE. Nova, kind of the player to watch on his team, and then Crone is the player that you're talking about on WCS.
I like Crone, and I really like Call Me Raza as well. Crone, just because he struggles at times, but it feels like he's able to patch himself up and then bring things back slowly.
Yeah, so we do see a choice system coming down. Nova already getting the first kill on Call Me Raza. Does spot another one with the pistol. Does get taken out himself by Glitter 0718. So it's going to be very interesting. Crone does spot 2. Does get the assist on both of those players, though. So now 11-0 in favor of War.
And already we're seeing War doing such a great job of securing that hard point. WCS isn't even on the board yet. War seems like TBE is going to be using that wall run. Has an opponent coming up, but he gets surprised entirely. Spectre the GOAT going to be able to go and pick off Thug. Switching over to Spectre. He spots one from across the map. Gets a couple of hit markers, but not going to spend too much time in it. Finally starting to go and contest. He wants to take this hard point back, and he's finally able to net some points before being taken out.
Crone hopping on board here. Crone 315. Crone 315 does spot one in the corner here. Does not manage to take him out, though. They are kind of rotating over to the second hard point. Glitter 0718 automatically has the spawns for it, but right behind him, that's going to be Nova TB. Nova TB gets a kill on him. Oh, no, sorry. Nova TB does die as Glitter 0718 does manage to get the kill for his team. Kill feed all in favor of WCS as we speak right now. 9-36. does get their team back on the board. 4 minutes, 22 seconds left in the game.
And this is really big. They're going to be able to hold on to this hard point. It's going to be shifting in about 37 seconds, but here comes the contest. And right away, Team War is going to be able to secure that hard point, only increasing the mountain that WCS has to climb. Nova TBE controlling that hill pretty nicely before switching things up. They have their sensors around, and then he's going to be able to use those to go ahead and rotate around and pick off Spectre. The go spots Glitter right across, is able to secure that kill as well, and he catches another one coming up, but wait, it's going to be a 2v1 scenario pretty soon. Gets surprised a bit, but he ends up coming out on top, taking out Spectre the go before finally getting taken out by Crone.
Yeah, going to hop over here, TBE Thug. TBE Thug does have to rotate back over. 3 seconds left. Automatically inside the second hard point. Does get the Guardian out. Guardian, a very big power-up and being used in Black Ops 2. That's where it started out. Going to be very big used in Black Ops 3 as well, due to the fact that is like a heat sink, and it can block one of the doorways in hardpoint.
That's what we're seeing right now. TBE Thug just covering the stairs as well as that other door, knowing that that option is that the door in front is mostly covered. Abrupt is going to be getting taken out there by Call Me Raza, and Nova TBE is going to be getting one on Glitter.
One that I want to see here, does WCF had any EMP grenades? That's the only way you could take that out, unless you get behind it and you hit it enough times. Without that being said, I don't think anybody from really WCS has those grenades. If we look here from the teams here, let's look at what they're loading out. Sparta the GOAT has Simtex, has a flashbang. No one really on his team. I'm going on board here with Glitter. Glitter has nothing at all. Crone,
WCS. Can we talk about WCS for a second? They did a great job of coming back temporarily, and now look at this, almost 100-point difference so far. Kami Raza desperately trying to go ahead and take this out, but he was tunnel visioned in, allowing Nova to go ahead and get that easy kill. This is just looking like disaster for WCS.
Yeah, I do see this game going straight on board here with Team War. I do see a game 5 coming out here. Does seem like Team War does have the complete hardpoint game. They've been practicing hardpoint, it seems like obviously a lot, whether it be in the beta or whether it be right now. But Captain DNA does not spot that with the Purifier coming out. But Call Me Raza does drop after using the Purifier. Does kind of waste, but does pick up 2 kills for that. Contestion coming out. This hardpoint is very easy to contest, as it is very huge. You do need 2 people on each side, and also you do have 1 person that can come up in the waterway here and can easily get the kills. But we're going to hop over here with Crone.
Both teams right now making a rush towards that cave. Green team temporarily in control, but backing off slightly. That's really intriguing to me. No one was there to contest the hard point, but the red team already understanding exactly where the next hard point is going to be going, and they're doing a great job of capping it here. War up of almost 150 points to worst case scenarios 24.
Glitter 0718 does get the kill on Captain DNA though. I'm pretty sure that he probably shouldn't have got the kill, as he did not pre-aim the corner. Does spot another one. TBE Thug that will be getting him with the pistol. Does get it again though with another pistol. Sparrow being pulled out now. Is kind of watching it.
I want to see how the Sparrow is going to be utilized in these corners in particular. You can already see that the explosion at the end might do a good job of securing some of these hallways. Nope. Here comes TBE Thug. Finding that Sparrow ever so slightly back. Just might be able to spot one soon. I'm surprised that he has it. No, he didn't catch the guy in the window. That's what I was really surprised about. The guy in the window was able to go ahead and just easily kill him the second that he was laser focused in on the hallway.
Yeah, so Kami, worst case scenario does have some points inside the hard point, bringing it back 35 to 174. Still down now. Does get 1 kill on Captain DNA. You said Crone was your play that you wanted to watch. 11 and 16 right now. Nova TBE to 19 and 10. Slaying on this game. TBE Thug 17-6. The slaying and then the hard point kills. If you look 128 on TBE Thug. If we pull up the regular scoreboard here real quick, as we do have.
Wow, Crone has an opportunity here. Ends up getting one, and he's going to be sending those clones out. Flying over, starting to contest the hard point. Picks up 1 before getting taken out.
I personally don't think the clones did exactly what he wanted him to do. He tried to send him out through the wall, but they did get caught on the wall and went back. So didn't do the exact same plan. Great concept of the idea, just poorly executed. But in time, Friday, game did just come out, so it's 3 days into the game. Eventually teams will eventually learn what they can and can't do, especially with that. But as we go down, it seems like every play we get on it has a commentator curse. Going hop over here, Nova TBE 19 and 11. Currently just kind of rotating around to the second hard point in the series in the second rotation. So I want to see how this works out, as he does have 1 player coming back up onto his right, and that is going to be Glitter. But he does get the hop on Glitter. Does have Spectre the GOAT right behind him though. But yeah, there's one player in front of him as well. That's going to be Kamiwaza. Kamiwaza does get into the hard point. Trying to chase after Nova TV. Does pick him up eventually, though. So now in favor. Does get the second kill, but sorry, that was on Captain DNA. So, great, yeah. Okay.
Kamiwaza.
Works really well. So Glido 718 does get one kill. Does spot one down there further. It's going to give a call out to Kamiwaza. Kamiwaza going to be watching out for him. Does get the assist on one.
Oh, and we're switching things over to Kamiwaza. He's going to be getting picked up so quickly by Captain DNA. Captain DNA has been somebody who's been lining up the kill streams on both sides, to be perfectly honest. So we should maybe rotate over to him.
Yeah, Nova TV, though, 23 and 12, does get inside the hard point. 9 seconds left. Trying to rotate over to his fourth hard point in the series. Oh, sorry, third hard point in the series right now. Does go up the waterfall. Does spot one player. Does get Kamiwaza.
I love the flank there. He almost picks off two, but knows when to back off. Going to be put full of bullets, so is going to be dropping down. There's that Sparrow utilization. That was excellent from TBE Thug. Still has it fully wound back. Spots one, and he's unable to go ahead and get the bullet onto Crone, who's still securing a kill on Nova.
Does get the Guardian.
Ooh, that was really, really intelligent. He ends up dropping that down so he can secure that hallway so he can turn around and be safe if he's focusing on the enemy. But gets lit up by that Purifier. We've seen that Purifier doing massive work in these tight hallways.
Yeah, with only 4 seconds left, it does seem like Team War will be able to take this hard point. 250 to 7-3. Team War takes game number 4. We are going into a game 5 here.
They should just call themselves Team Hardpoint. That's what we've seen really from Team War. Both of their wins so far have been on that mode. But Search and Destroy is going to be map number 5. That's really interesting. That's really, really interesting. From Search and Destroy, even though worst case scenario came out on top last time, for the beginning of that map, it was really, really close.
A big thing that I have to say here, and it's very surprising to say, is in past Call of Duties, you know, you did not win if you got the defense. But if you look at the defense from WCS, they had a lot more defense than what Team War had. Very interesting to see. So it's going to be very interesting as we do have the time coming out. War, 2 minutes, 5 seconds, minute 57, minute 11. Very interesting to see how that really works out. So, you know, what can happen?
What can happen? Well, thank you once again for tuning in. We're about to go underway with map number 5. It's going to be Search and Destroy on Redwood. Big shout-outs, of course, versus Gameplay Arcade. For those of you who are in the Dallas area, be sure you tune in or at least come out. Mondays, we're going to be showcasing our Call of Duty show matches. Tuesdays, we have a Smash 4 tournament. Wednesdays, there's going to be a show match for Halo 5, which I've been having a lot of fun learning lately. Thursdays, there's going to be Street Fighter Night. Fridays for Mortal Kombat X. Saturdays for Street Fighter. And Sundays for MVC. Gotta love that, Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yep.
It's basically the Smash 64 of the fighting game community.
Right.
The touch of death, man. The touch of death.
Yeah, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we also have the weeklies for those respective games. You know, like we did say, Wednesday we do have a Halo weekly show match. Mondays we're doing our Call of Duty Black Ops 3 show match. Also, guys, there's a donate button down below if you want to support Versus Gameplay and the Versus Gameplay Arcade. Feel free to click that donate button. You know, any donations are actually really appreciated here at the Versus Gameplay Arcade as well as Versus Gameplay. AFA 16. AFA 16.
FIFA 16, bro.
FIFA 16. November 28th, 2015. That looks like an A, man. That looks like an A.
That's a pretty clear indication that that's FIFA, homie.
Look.
You're good, Shadow. I'm just messing with you. But yeah, FIFA 16 we're gonna be having a really big event here at the arcade on November 28th. So for those of you FIFA fans who are out there, be sure you tune in. But enough with the shameless plugs. Oh, yeah, shout-outs to BenQ. Enough with the shameless plugs. We have to get underway with this next and final map. Yep. This is going to be a fun one. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Redwood Search and Destroy. Redwood Search and Destroy. Very big, interesting to see. You know, I'm not too sure necessarily what's going to happen here with the teams. You know, just kind of waiting to see until the final player from ISMBTB Thug switchovers to, you know, the respective side. But guys, you know, we did shout out BenQ. BenQ is official monitor versus Gameplay Arcade and versus Gameplay. Use code versus $20 for $20 off a brand new BenQ gaming monitor, and use code versus $40 for $40 off a refurbished gaming monitor from BenQ.us. Just currently waiting for the teams to actually rotate back over. You know, another feature we did not listen, but we actually will feature in. It's going to be the listen-in feature. Listen-in feature we saw used in game number 1. We didn't really use it in game number 4 because game number 4 is just this action back to back.
I mean, there wasn't much to talk about, even from a casting standpoint. Team War just ran away with that one. But especially in the late game, WCS has proven to be incredibly efficient when it comes to search and destroy. So it would be no surprise to me if WCS is able to run away with it in the late game.
So another feature, just waiting for the players to kind of get in the game. Game starts in 8 seconds now. Redwood search and destroy. Following friend has joined the party. Little 718. Okay. Sounds cool.
So if I'm Team War, I'm thinking about ways to shut down Call Me Raza immediately. One thing that I saw in the last Search and Destroy match was he was fantastic when it came to actually locking down the bomb site after the plant had happened. So if I'm looking at as Team War, I need to figure out ways to bait him out of the safe zone and go ahead and neutralize him immediately, because he was one of those key figures that I feel allowed WCS to go ahead and walk away with that initial Search and Destroy map.
Not even 10 seconds into ban and protect voting, and you automatically see the awareness being banned. Elcar, another weapon that's been banned in 3 of the past 4 games. Or sorry, 3 of the past 4 games. Why is that weapon being banned?
Who knows? Who knows? I truly wish I could tell you. Maybe it's just one of those weapons where you're not super great at, but you hate really facing off against it. I would think a lot about back whenever I played Modern Warfare 2. I was so terrible with the intervention, but I really hated it, not because I couldn't use it, but because everyone else was so good with those quickscopes.
Yeah, so another thing I want to state here real quick. On Team War, they are banning perks and they are banning specialists and they're protecting perks. On the other hand, WCS has only banned guns and then attachments. So
two different styles of thought.
Yeah.
Two very different styles of thinking. And this is a really good combo, I feel, for Team War. Banning awareness and then picking up dead silence is going to allow them to maneuver around the map relatively undetected. We're going to be seeing a ban of the War Machine as well. And here comes that specialist draft. What do you think we're going to be seeing from both of these teams?
I honestly believe Glitch will be seen again. Like I said, they're not playing with the specialist that you can revive yourself. Scythe being featured, that's obviously a question. Active camo, we didn't really see that featured really in Hardpoint. Not like how we really wanted it to. On the other hand, Overdrive wasn't banned. We may see Overdrive being used again. I believe Nova TB will probably pick Overdrive, just so the fact that he did pick Overdrive last time, and he did actually manage to keep his team alive. Sparrow being used, and as I do said, Nova TB picks the Overdrive feature.
Yeah, and the Scythe from Thug, that's smart. Call Me Raza with the Overdrive intrigues me, because when I think of him as a player, like I said, he's great at locking down a position afterwards. Whereas Overdrive is one of those tools that you use to get a really quick plant. So maybe for him, he wants to be put in that position really quickly. He wants to use the Overdrive to rush the bomb over to one of the sites and then immediately be able to lock down the site, because that's what he's good at. So interesting little back and forth there. I guess he doesn't want to need to rely on perks to really lock down a site, so who knows? It's just curious, just really reaching into his mind.
Yes.
Crone with the Psychosis is fun as well, because I want to see more utilization of those clones more than anything else. And we saw them actually get caught in the window, unfortunately, in that last match.
Yep.
But I think these open spaces that Redwood provides is going to make it so that he's probably not going to be running into so many issues around that.
Yeah, so another thing that, with the edit created class system comes into play, in Black Ops 2 and in Advanced Warfare. Black Ops 2, on the other hand, they had it where, they had different class sets, so you can change your class sets based upon what game mode you're playing, based upon what game maps you're playing. Advanced Warfare, they featured like 50 different class variations where you can have like 50 different classes. This game just coming out, you only do get 5 classes to choose from, if I'm not mistaken. It's either 5 or 6. So the edit created class feature, you really kind of do have to change your classes, but 90 seconds is not enough time to really, say, hey, you can change 5 classes. Like, that gives you enough time to make a few minor changes, some big changes, in some of your classes, but you can't hit all 5 classes unless you just automatically know what you want. But it's very hard to know what you want because of the ban and protect system. Somebody, you may like Dead Silence, somebody may ban Dead Silence, and that changes your whole classes up.
It just makes it so that you have to be versatile. You have to be ready to assume whatever position your team requires you to assume. And that's something that I've been noticing from these players is that you're not seeing one player really be, say, the designated sniper or anything like that. They're very fluid with their playstyles. They can go and switch from a sniping position into a rushdown-oriented position at the drop of a hat, and it's making it so that the bans are really, really difficult for both teams.
Yes, we do see Spectre the GOAT out Glitter. Spectre the GOAT, last one being up here. Edit score streaks complete. Game starting in 3 seconds. Go hop aboard here with the offensive side first. I believe the offensive side is going to be WCS, if I'm not mistaken. Not curious to see how that's going to work. The Sparrow being featured in this game, Glitter. This map I have not seen played yet. With Redwood, with it, the way it looks, it does seem to be a very big open map. I could be wrong about that, but it's going to be very interesting to see how this will be played. Overdrive, you know, gets to the bomb site quick. Active camo, obviously you can sneak up on your teammate or sneak up on the enemy team. Psychosis, very good at being used, but like I do say, it does seem like a very big open map, very big map in general. This game, it seems to be more in favor of the defense, it seems like, just here. You know, A bomb site I don't think will probably be pushed a lot. On the other hand, I think B will probably be the more open bomb site. I could be wrong about that, but just based upon just how the teams are going. But we do see Nova with the
Going in, we see Crone has the bomb available. Going to be throwing out those grenades, hoping to smoke out whatever is remaining on the B site, which has 2 members of War.
I'd say Glitter did kill himself there.
That's unfortunate.
He did pass Nova TB. They did pass each other, not even notice each other. And it was right around the little top left-hand, you know, circular pillar thing on this map. But just as I say that, TB Thug does go down. Crone does go down as well. So 2v3 situation. Should be a 3v3. Call Me Raza picks up the kill on Call Me DNA.
We have a 2v2 right now. Call Me Raza ends up getting stuffed by Abrupt. And it's going to be the first point in favor of War.
Yep, 1-0 now in favor of War. With a kill VMP Grip. You know, that was very interesting seeing Grip banned in Farpoint. Wonder how that really had an effect in play. But we do see Grip being utilized again now from Team War. 1-0 now in favor, switching sides over. Gonna hop aboard here with the attacking side. That's gonna be Team War. Gonna be on TB Thug. Never mind, TB Thug is not the designated bomb carrier. Captain DNA is.
Captain DNA. Switching over to him. It looks like there's going to be primarily a push right now to the A site. And we see one member of the red team fake a push towards B, which is making it so that Call Me Raza is kind of out inspecting in that area.
Glitter has to call out this to his teammates. I don't know why Call Me Raza is not. Log run feature being used.
So smart. But does he have the suppressor?
He does not.
I'm wondering.
Let's see if he does.
Flat trying to go ahead and
fast hands and dead silence. You know he does not have the blast suppressor, so they did see him move that. But you know the bomb is down. 2v3 situation. Glitter 718, Crone 315. Last one's alive.
That showcases why it's so important to work as a team. He's able to rely on his teammates, and now he's able to go ahead and pick off 1, gets 2 as well. That was a really easy win for WCS.
Yeah, he did throw the it was either concussion grenade or flashbang in there. Did concuss him, and you know got the easy kill on him. Then he just kind of waited for Glitter. Glitter on the other hand looks like it had a sniper out or some sort of single burst gun. Just was no way he was going to win that with the VMP grip he had there. So 2-0 now in favor.
2-0 in favor of War. Damn, that CODcast feature needs to get fixed because it definitely said that WCS had taken that map.
Yeah,
that was so weird.
It's still working out.
Still working out the kinks. Still working out the kinks.
Another feature they need to fix is they need to lower the top left right here, where it doesn't interfere with the map. But it is a brand new feature coming out. Everything's gonna have its all kinks and bugs, but we should see this ready in about a month. A lot of people are already, really saying in the games itself is the game releases in November, but the true game doesn't release until December because they have to work out all the kinks. They have to get the rule sets done. Like right now there is no rule set for the game.
It's the Wild West.
Yeah,
the Wild West. And looking over at Captain DNA, he has one locked down, but he's able to just barely escape, running right around the log. Call Me Raza hops into the window and picks off Captain DNA, who was laser visioned onto that tree stump, I believe. And we're still on Call Me Raza here. He's going to be making a slight push, and he picks off the last member of Team War, finally getting on the board. WCS is looking like they still have a little bit of fight left in them.
Yeah, Call Me Raza utilizing that overdrive feature coming out there, managing to get the kill on Captain DNA by jumping up there, getting the quick burst, running back around, having enough time, has a flash. Has a flash as his camo weapon.
Interesting.
Man, that just tells you, man, overdrive. You know, it has a flash grenade. It tells you he's on the run, man. We're going to hop on board here with Abrupt, as Abrupt does have a psychosis feature ready. Curious to see how this will work. Going through TB Thug.
TB Thug has the bomb.
Captain DNA with his RCXD, you know, or what it's called in this game, as it was called RCXD.
I think it's an HC.
HC, something.
Yeah, it's an HC because it's a hovercraft, not just an RC car.
Oh, what? HCXD.
Yeah, hovercraft.
Yeah, there we go. Does spot one player. You know, he does have a red target around him. Never seen his red target, but does blow Crone up. Crone's probably very upset right now.
Yeah, I'd be salty. I'd be salty. That was so brilliant, the way that he used the hovercraft to flank the entirety of that team. And look at the payoff. That was such a fast round for War. And I think that the hovercar was essentially the first domino that fell that resulted in the chain reaction of that entire team collapsing.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about some of this? You know, you mentioned before, you know, it says that WCS wins one round, and then one, it says, you know, it switches back over, it says War, you know, proper score. That time it said War won that round, so I'm curious to see, is it depending upon who you're on at the last kill? Because I did switch over to WCS, which lost a round, so maybe it features upon which side you're on. But curious enough to say, we automatically know 3-1 now in favor of Team War. It's going to be very interesting to see as we are going to hop on board here with, I believe it's going to be Spectre the GOAT.
Yeah, let's go ahead and switch over to our bomb carrier.
Bomb carrier is down, actually.
He got down immediately.
And just like that, Crone, 3v2, 1v2 situation, 2v4, TB Thug, 2-3, Nova, 2-2. Not sure what's necessarily going to happen here. You know, he does have the Locust Bolt with the thermal weapon here. 1-1. Curious to see how this is going to work out. B bomb site. Not too sure what's going to happen here. As Crone, I don't think he's going to get the bomb down. 40 seconds left to play.
2v1 right now.
Spot one. That's going to be Nova.
Ooh, red team's trying to push out. It might be a mistake. They actually walked right past each other. That was crazy.
He didn't see him. He didn't see him. How did he not see him?
Was the camo involved?
I don't know. We saw the outline, but was the camo involved?
That was ridiculous. They literally just walked right past each other. They're like, "Sup, bro? Sup? How you doing? Yeah, you doing pretty good? Yeah."
Because I'm not caring about.
Hey, do you hate this map? I don't really care for it, man. It's not my favorite. I'm not really a nature person. What can I say?
Right, so I don't care about you right now, so I'm gonna go for this other guy. 4-1 now in favor of Team War. 2 rounds away from winning. Completely different Team War coming out here.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, WCS started off a bit behind as well, and they had to fight back to stay alive. And so, who knows? Yep. Maybe WCS still has some fight in them. We're going to be switching things over right now to Team War, though, seeing as they are the ones with the bomb.
He did see that, but, you know, Captain DNA, bomb is down, it seems like. That bomb does go down.
Ooh, bit of a firefight. Kamiraza coming out on top. As we pan over to him and use that thrust. Has this window. Not really too many opponents to really lock down, though, as you can see through the X-ray vision. He's not going to be spotting anybody anytime soon, but he's still hoping to lock down that area as best as he can. TBE picking up one in the corner. Really big for him, as now it's a 1v3. Kamiraza all alone. He has to, get picked off is what he has to do. He ends up getting shot just as he's trying to go in and get the plant.
One thing I did see that Kamiraza did was the fact that Kamiraza, he jumped, he boosted, and he ran right over TB Thug. TB Thug had no idea he was there until I guess he probably heard him land or he saw the boosting. But 5-1 now in favor of Team War. Team War 1 round away from winning it. Worst case scenario, has to win 5 straight rounds in order to keep their life inside this tournament. Or not tournament, show match. But anyway, going to hop aboard here with the attacking side.
Spectre the GOAT. Ooh, TBE ends up taking out both Spectre the GOAT as well as Glitter. It's looking like absolute disaster for WCS, who have to win this round. They're already down 2, and the fact that Crone just got picked off is not doing them any favors. Once again, Kamiraza, he was the MVP in the last hardpoint match, but he's just going to be taken out by that hover car, that RC. Ooh. It's so devastating. It's so devastating, and we saw it being utilized so well by Team War.
Yep, the HCXD coming out. You were right, Hovercraft XD.
It says HC on the thing.
Man, I didn't see it, man. I didn't see it. I didn't recognize it. It's okay. 6-1. Team War does take the show match 3-2. winning the hard point game number 1 pretty convincingly.
I really like their equipment utilization in that game. We saw, I think it was in round number 4, how they used the hover car to flank around worst case scenario, and just I think they maybe even picked off Kami Raza, who no, they didn't pick up Kami Raza. He was the last man alive, but he picked off one of the members of WCS.
Crone, I think.
Yeah, probably Crone. Poor Crone, 2-7 at the end of this. But yeah, they were able to just pick off one. It led to enough confusion where they were able to just suppress and stifle the rest of the team. And nothing really went down because of a bomb plant, right? We didn't really see too many bomb plants. It felt more like a like a deathmatch sort of game more than anything else. There wasn't really that many opportunities where players would actually get the bomb planted. More often than not, they'd just be picking each other apart, trying to go for that win condition instead.
Yep. So, going back on the scoreboard real quick, 1-7 Spectre the GOAT, 3-6 Glitter, 2-7 Crone, Kamiwaza 6-6. Kamiwaza obviously the player you had to look out there for. But on the other hand, you had 5-3 from Abrupt, TB Thug 6-3, Captain DNA 7-4, and Nova TB 6-2.
They all were positive. They were all positive, and you can see how much those dividends pay off if you actually look at the score itself. 6-1, an absolute turnaround for the initial Search and Destroy map. Big props to War, as they're going to be the champions of our first show match.
Yep. Team War will be the first ever show match champions of the Black Ops 3 show match here at the Versus Gameplay Arcade. We want to thank both teams for coming out, Team War and Worst Case Scenario coming out and, letting us showcase the features. They worked really well with us, trying to get the rule sets done, letting us showcase the pick and ban system. Like I said, I know a lot of players don't like it at the moment, but, it's the way Call of Duty's going to happen. Call of Duty's going to happen. Call of Duty's going to have this feature in it, whether it's liked or not. It's going to have it featured in some way or somehow. So, we're going to showcase every single feature we can. Guys, also, within the next few days, we should have a page coming up on versusgameplay.com that you can actually sign up for Halo show matches and Call of Duty Black Ops 3 show matches. We will be doing Black Ops 3 show matches on Xbox One or PS4, so you can have, each option you can go with. Halo obviously will be on Xbox One. But guys, also remember, if you like the Versus Gameplay, Versus Gameplay Arcade, you want to help us support us, there's a donate button down at the bottom of the Twitch page. Just click donate. Any amount is obviously correctly, greatly appreciated. But also, check out Versus Gameplay Arcade, 9750 Walnut Street, Dallas, Texas, Suite 194, right next to Swayz. And, shout out to all our sponsors. And like I said, been great casting with you, JV.
Always lots of fun. Always lots of fun. Take care, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.